Hello, everyone. I will be your host for today. My name is Toby Salako. I've been with Cloud Booster for 6 months, and guess what? I'm already AWS certified and applying for jobs. It's mind-blowing, I know, but it's very, very doable, especially with Cloud Booster. That being said, welcome to our webinar at Cloud Booster on conversations on cloud computing. We're always very excited to have interactions with people who are curious about this space and emerging technology. At this webinar, we're going to be doing a few things for you. First thing would be demystifying cloud, telling you what the hype is, what the rave is about this thing that you've been seeing and hearing about all over internet. And you know what? You're very, very right. You're very, very right to be curious about it because it's a space that has so much impact to offer countries, industries, businesses, and you, as well as an individual. That's why we would also be telling you what's in it for you, and we will be letting you know how to get started, okay? But we're not going to close without, having a few questions that you guys may have on your minds. For this purpose, I would like to introduce to you Gbemisola, who is a seasoned professional and a cloud DevSecOps engineer. With that introduction, you can already decipher that there's nobody better qualified, right, to introduce to you this billion-dollar industry of cloud computing. So I'll hand you over to Gbemisola now. Gbemi, over to you.
Thank you so much, Toby. Hi, everybody. I hope you're excited to be here, just like I am. And I hope you all can hear me clearly. If you're excited, please put in the chat box. Tell us, yeah, I'm excited to learn about cloud. Just put in the chat box. If you don't put in the chat box, I will continue. If you're excited to learn about cloud today, just let's see it in the chat box. Say, I'm excited. I'm excited to learn about cloud. I'm excited to learn about cloud. Okay. Okay, I can see a few people. So it's good to have us. It's good to have us. Okay, I can see Tosi say she's excited. Who else is excited? It's good to see everyone. I can see Omotayo. I can see Oliver. I can see Dubem. I can see a few people. I can see us dancing. I can see Adeleye, Afolabi. So many people. Amazing. It's really good to have all of us here. And it's really an amazing opportunity. Most of you might have seen my emails already. I feel like we've been communicating, even though I haven't met most of us in person, but it's good that we have been speaking already. So today I'm just going to be talking about cloud computing. What's the hype? What's in it for you? How can you get started? I know that these are the questions on your mind, and I'm looking forward, myself and my amazing team at Cloud Booster, we're looking forward to answering all these questions for you. So that being said, let's get right into it. Welcome on board. I always like to make people feel welcome. It's important to me that you feel welcome. So I want you to know that we're excited to have you. Whatever part of the world you're joining us from, we're excited. Welcome, and thank you for joining us today. So what to expect from this program? We're going to be demystifying cloud computing. Some of you might have heard of cloud computing before. Trust me, it's not that complicated. Especially if you are hearing about cloud computing from Cloud Booster, it's not that complicated. So I'm going to be talking to you about cloud computing today. I'm going to be telling you about different use cases, and I'll tell you what's in it for your career. How can you go from zero to cloud? That's another thing that we do a lot at Cloud Booster. We don't care about your background. All we care about is what do you want from this point in your life going forward, and we'll be able to offer you that. So I hope you guys are excited. Sit back and please send the link to somebody in your contacts that they should join us as well. Don't listen to this alone. Share it on your WhatsApp status, send it all around. Tell them that, tell people in your contact list that they're about to learn about cloud. So please let them join us. So please make sure you do that. So while you guys are spreading the word about Cloud Booster and about everything we have to do today, I'm going to be telling you a bit about myself, right? So For those of you that don't know me, my name is Bimsola Ojo, and I'm a certified AWS Solutions Architect. So I have 4 years experience in cloud computing. I think it's even over 4 years already, and digital innovation. I work in the UK. I'm married. I've worked with multinationals to deliver large-scale, complex, and innovative cloud solutions for millions of end users globally. I'm a highly sought after, by the grace of God. I'm a highly sought after professional with a range of skill sets in cloud computing, DevOps, and cybersecurity. Outside of work, I enjoy cooking, I enjoy baking, I enjoy gisting as well. People that know me, they know I like to talk a lot. So you guys should get ready. And of course, I enjoy spending time with my friends and my family. I'm very passionate about cloud, as you probably can tell already. And I hope that you guys are sharing this link with people in your contact list. Please make sure you do that so that they can join us as well. Anyways, I'm very passionate about cloud. I'm passionate about teaching cloud and DevOps concept because I learned the hard way. I know how hard it was for me to learn. So when it comes to technical concept, and I'm really grateful. I feel like this is one comment I get a lot at work, even from non-Africans. You know, I remember one of my colleagues at work said to me, I said, "Oh, the way you really break down technical concepts is really nice." You know, so and this is actually what has formed the heart and the passion behind Cloud Booster Academy. So I'm the founder of Cloud Booster Academy and the lead instructor as well. And because I know how difficult it was for me to get into cloud, for me to understand DevOps concepts, at Cloud Booster Academy, we break down things a lot to make sure that even if you're a beginner, you can understand this complex concepts. That being said, what is cloud computing? I know this is what most of you came here for. You want to know what cloud computing is all about. I'm going to be demystifying it and making it simple for you to understand. What is cloud computing? So cloud computing is simply the delivery of computing services owned by a cloud provider over the internet. Don't worry, if it's still sounding confusing, before the end of this talk, I'll make it clearer, right? So the delivery of computing services. What are computing services? Storage, for example, is a computing service. If you look at this picture on the right, servers, remember there were days that we used to have CPUs as part of our computer. These are computing services, applications, your mobile application, database is a computing service. So imagine being able to deliver all these computing services by a cloud provider over the internet. Don't worry, I'll break it down for them. This kind of services include servers, software applications, database, storage, networks, and lots more. Now, in breaking it further, I want you to know that you use cloud every single day. Everybody here, I can assure you that you use cloud every day. Use cloud every day. If you have a Netflix account, you use cloud. If you search anything on Google, you use cloud. If you use Gmail, you use cloud. Some of you have iPhones and use iCloud, you use cloud. So if you're using SoundCloud, you use cloud. So cloud computing supplies secure services to end users where they don't need to worry about where the actual information is stored. But you can always be assured that when you need that information, it is available on demand, it is easy to access, and it is reliable. What do I mean by this? Think about your Google Drive, for example. Guys, when you have a document, right? You have a Word document, you have it stored on your laptop. You know that it's stored on your laptop. But by the time you upload that document into your Google Drive, even if you log into Google Drive on your mobile phone or on somebody else's phone, that document will still be on Google Drive because it is on the cloud. Google Drive is type of cloud computing. So that's what we mean by cloud computing. So you don't need to worry about where your information is. If you're storing music files, if you're storing documents, whatever it is that you're storing, you don't need to worry about it. You don't need to, I'm talking about documents on a very small level, right? But that's if you can understand the basic of cloud computing, you can understand the complexity of it. So instead of having your information, instead of an organization managing their computing capacity, every organization needs computers, needs servers to operate. Instead of them managing it by themselves, they've contracted it out to a major cloud provider to manage their services for them so that businesses can focus on their core business operations. And I can assure you, as we go along, you would understand what I'm saying a lot more because I'll bring about different use cases, right? So the biggest cloud providers that we have are AWS, some of you might have heard of it, Amazon Web Services, we have Microsoft Azure, we have Alibaba Cloud, and we have Google Cloud as well. So what these cloud providers are doing is that they are hosting your computing needs with a public cloud provider rather than managed physical machines. So I spoke about you as an individual. Instead of you to have a document on your laptop, you decide to put it on Google Drive. So what that means is that you're not managing where your data, your document is stored, but you know that anytime you need that document, anytime you log into your Google Drive, whether you're using your phone or somebody else's phone, that document is always available. This is the unit of cloud computing. This is what cloud computing is all about. So companies, organizations, instead of them managing their computers, their servers, all the things that they need by themselves, they decide that, you know what, Amazon, you guys are a big organization. Why don't you guys just manage all our computing needs for us while we just log into your system and access all our computers from your system? Like I said, it will get clearer as we go along. So what was life before cloud? What was life before cloud? Before cloud computing, before there was this revolutionary, I can call it, idea of cloud computing, what used to happen was that companies had to manage their computing needs by themselves. So say Netflix, for example, and I'll still go into details of what Netflix has done, but think about Netflix, for example. How many of you use Netflix? If you use Netflix, put in the chat box, I use Netflix, put in the chat. I'm not advertising Netflix, but I'd like to see if you use Netflix, please put it in the chat box. Let's know if you use Netflix. Oh, that means there's no one that uses Netflix on this call. I use Netflix. Okay, I can see that. If you use Netflix. So think about Netflix, right? Netflix is a video streaming company, right? They provide on-demand movies and users. Now, in a traditional sense, before cloud, how would Netflix manage their videos? Because I mean, think about it. You can imagine I don't know how many of us want to guess how many millions of videos that are available on Netflix. You know, before cloud, how would Netflix manage their computing needs? Netflix would need to have their own physical servers where they store all these movies, so that when you as an end user, when you need to watch these movies, they have physical servers that host these movies. Now, in the era of the cloud, so you can see this man looking confused because, I mean, you have traditional data, they are managing all their computers by themselves. And Netflix core operation is not to manage computers. It is actually to deliver latest movies for end users. You know, so if a company like Netflix is having to worry about their computing needs, oh my God, we have so many videos, all these videos have to sit on servers. If this is what they are worrying about, it gives an additional headache to the organization. This is why cloud has transformed an organization like Netflix, for example, because now, instead of them managing their computing needs by themselves, they've said, you know what, Amazon Web Services, you guys are a public cloud provider, manage all our videos for us. Just keep our videos on your servers. We don't want to have physical servers. Manage all our videos on your servers. And when our customers need it, they can log in to our platform, and then you guys are going to be supplying the videos to them. And I hope it's getting clearer. And if it's not, you may need to watch this video again to understand what I'm saying. But this is what cloud is all about. So I talked about Netflix. Think about it. Have you ever wondered how Netflix manages up to 125 million views in traffic every day? Instagram, have you ever thought about how they manage 1 billion active users all over the world? They are leveraging the power of the cloud. Airbnb manages over 1 billion active users all over the world. Airbnb does not have a physical location. They are all online. They are all leveraging the power of the cloud. All these companies I just mentioned, they are not computer companies. Instagram is a social media platform, but they use computers, and that has to be managed by the cloud. Airbnb is all about home sharing. Their core business operation is not an internet company, but any of their computing needs is managed by a cloud provider. This is what cloud computing is all about. And I hope that, I can see people are saying this is interesting. I'm really glad to see that. So what are the advantages of cloud computing? I've spoken about cloud computing a lot, but the key thing is, you know, like I said, if a company so the first thing is trade capital expense for variable expense. So because all these organizations are not managing their computing needs by themselves, you know, they don't need to have any capital expense. Traditionally, if Airbnb was to start in the era that there was no cloud, what they would need to do would be they need to have physical servers that will run all their organization's computing needs. You know, they didn't need to do that when they started because there was cloud. So they just built their platform on the cloud and it's available to everyone globally. So with cloud, I'm not going to go too deep on this. When you take our training, you get to know deep dive about cloud computing, but there is benefits from massive economies of scale with cloud computing. You don't need to know how much computing need an organization has upfront. You know, you can build on the cloud and continue to scale. There is a lot of increase in speed and agility. You don't need to spend money running and maintaining data centers because we have the cloud compute, because we have cloud. And then any application that is built on the cloud can go global in minutes. This was not the case in traditional era before cloud computing came. So that being said, that's cloud computing. I know I talked about a lot of technical things, but I hope that the real life scenarios made you understand it better. So what is the hype? Why is there a hype for cloud? Why are you guys here today? Why is there a hype for cloud computing? This is where the hype comes from. Many companies are moving to the cloud. You know, I just explained the benefits of cloud computing to organizations, and a lot of companies are realizing that, oh my God, this cloud thing is perfect. Like, we don't need to manage our computers by ourselves. All these public cloud providers will manage the computers for us, and all we need to do is to access their systems. So especially with the pandemic era, and I'll talk about it in my, let me see, yeah. So what's the hype about? The hype is the fact that many companies are moving to the cloud and they need cloud engineers. So if you're in this audience and you're thinking, oh my God, I want to learn a skill in tech, I want to get into tech, blah, blah, blah. This is where you should be thinking about, because there is a huge skills gap in cloud computing, because this is a new concept in technology. A lot of organizations are just beginning to migrate their systems to the cloud, and they need cloud engineers. They need cloud engineers to be able to do this work. Yes, I can say we want to make money. This is where you can make money, and we'll talk about it as we go along, right? So there is a huge skills gap in cloud. Most of the big companies, you know, they've recognized the importance of cloud to their company's efficiency, scalability, and revenue. That is why cloud engineers are in so much demand. Cloud particularly became a buzzword during the pandemic, as many companies were forced to move to the cloud. I mean, I could go on and on. I've been in cloud for about 4 years. I could go on and on about how dramatic this thing was when the pandemic came. I mean, a lot of banks, for example, like you would speak, because I've worked in consulting in the UK for a couple of years. And as a consultant, you know, as a cloud consultant, I will go and try and convince organizations to move to the cloud. And I remember when we talk to banks, you know, particularly banks abroad, they'll tell you, oh no, our data is confidential, it's too sensitive. We cannot move our computers to somebody. We don't know where Amazon keeps their computers. We can't just move our data to the cloud. You know, they were very reluctant about it. But when the pandemic came and people that wanted to be seeing their servers, a lot of organizations wanted to have control over their physical servers. They wanted to continue. They couldn't do that anymore because of the pandemic. Everybody was forced to work from home. So the pandemic that happened in 2020 actually drove such a huge demand for cloud professionals. And many of us that had been learning cloud before the pandemic, we started getting a lot of requests from recruiters. People were reaching out to us. A lot of job offers opened up if you knew cloud recruiters, and I'll show you some of the pages. During the pandemic, I've gotten, my LinkedIn profile is filled with all kinds of recruiters. Do you want this job? Do you want, between the time the pandemic has come, I've changed my job twice. Many increases in my salary just because I know cloud computing. And that's why I'm here today. We don't want to just do that alone. We want you to also benefit from this cloud buzz. So I'll tell you a bit about 3 organizations that moved to the cloud so that you can see the power of what I'm talking about and where you come in as a person. So Netflix, you know, I've spoken extensively about Netflix, but Netflix, when they found that they were outpacing their traditional data centers capability, they turned to the cloud for help with scalability in order to meet spikes in demand. That's why right now, even if Netflix has 100 million users and they want to scale to 200 million users, because they are on the cloud, they will scale easily. But if they were using traditional servers, they will need to keep buying additional servers as their number of users increase. The cloud makes it possible to do that without any hiccups, because their computing needs is being managed by a public cloud provider, which is AWS. So Netflix is now producing its own show. They are focused on that, and then they can conveniently handle a huge number of global users that they have. Coca-Cola is another example. They moved to public cloud in 2014 after a surge in traffic during the Super Bowl. That was when they knew that they could no longer use on-premise data centers. And then the migration to the cloud helped the company to reduce their maintenance costs and achieve 40% operational savings, greatly improving performance and increased operational capabilities by being able to introduce more automation. That's another thing about the cloud. When you have your data on the cloud, when a company has their computing capacity on the cloud, then they can do a lot of automation, because all these cloud providers, they are innovating on a daily basis. AWS is constantly innovating as a public cloud provider, and that's what we do at Cloud Booster. We teach you about different cloud concepts, right? AWS is constantly innovating. They're constantly adding more things. So if an organization is fully on the cloud, they are able to innovate faster as an organization, which is why everybody wants to move to the cloud. But we don't have professionals who know cloud that can help organizations make this change, right? Apple is also another example. They actually leverage cloud computing to manage the release of Siri. I don't know how many of you use Siri. I personally use Siri. I use Alexa as well. I'm a very techie person. I like to use virtual assistant, but most people recognize Siri by its voice, but the magic behind Siri is actually cloud. There's a cloud system behind how Siri works. That's the true magic, because users can send their questions, and then using the power of the cloud, it processes the answers that you get back. So the cloud has allowed Apple to expand and adapt Siri over time without Apple users ever knowing that there was a change. That's what happened. See, I used to work in an organization that they actually started as an on-premise organization, and they were able to move their entire systems to the cloud. The end users, we don't know what happened. As an end user, you don't know what happened, but you just realize that this organization, when you use their banking app, you can see that they just have lots of innovations. They are able to innovate fast. Before you know it, the bank is asking you can integrate Alexa with this application. You can integrate Siri with this application. They are innovating very fast because they've moved to the cloud. So that's the power of the cloud. I hope it's getting clearer. So my point is, cloud computing is the future. It is the future. Over 48% of companies globally plan to move most of their applications to the cloud by end of this is my industry. I can assure you, and I've done a lot of research in this space as well, both in the UK, even when I'm back home in Nigeria as well. I know that there is a huge buzz. Everybody's looking for people who are able to do cloud, who know cloud, and you don't have to have any background in tech. That's why Cloud Booster is here. You don't need to have any background in tech. All we need is people that are interested in learning cloud computing. So the cloud market is big. According to the Tech Journal, by 2030, the cloud computing market may have grown by 5-fold, which is true. This market, sometimes I get messages from recruiters and they're like, would you like to come and work in this company? The signs of, you see dramatic things like, you're in such a field where the market is not going to go down in the next couple of years, so that's what we're doing. So the worldwide cloud computing services market is estimated to be worth $1.6 million by the end of the decade. It's so big. Companies are moving rapidly to the cloud. Over 48% of companies plan to move their applications to the cloud by end of 2022. By 2025, businesses will be deploying 95% of all their new workload on cloud native platforms. This means that there is an ever-increasing demand for cloud computing experts. And that's where you come in. We want to tell you how you can become a cloud computing expert. We're really looking forward to, taking you on this journey. So there is a huge skills gap. And this is something you see a lot. Companies in the US are already dropping previous requirements for degree-level education. 92% of UK hiring managers report difficulty in finding enough cloud talent. I tell you the truth, I work in this field. I see this all the time. When recruiters reach out to me and say, okay, are you interested in taking up this? I'm like, I'm sorry. I just changed my job. How many jobs can only one person do? And this was actually why we started Cloud Booster Academy. Because if I cannot take these jobs, we can train people to be able to do these jobs. So there's a huge difficulty in finding the right talent for the job. And then another challenge that recruiters are facing is the fact that their current staff are being poached. See, if you know anybody that is in the cloud field right now working, ask them, either they're being offered higher salaries to stay, or they're being offered other jobs so that they could, leave. I was speaking, I wouldn't go too much into that, but I've spoken to recruiters, even one-on-one, and they've spoken about how, there was a company that used to train people in cloud. They were like, they've become a charity because they train people within 3 months, they are doubling their salary and they are leaving, because there is such a demand. And I hope that all these things is whetting your appetite and you guys are interested in becoming cloud professionals, because that's our aim. We want you to be interested, and we're going to share with you different people that have gone through Cloud Booster Academy and have become a success as a result of it. So what is in it for you? What is in it for you is for you to learn the skill. We want you to become proficient in cloud so that you can become a high demand professional. What are the benefits of learning cloud for you? You will be in high demand. The demand for people to fill cloud computing roles is growing very fast. If you have the right cloud computing skills, then you can find a meaningful job in cloud computing. And for me, these are just snippets of, some of the messages that I get every now and then when people tell me, oh, we'll look at your profile. We want people to have experience in Terraform, AWS, Docker, Kubernetes, and these are the things that we teach at Cloud Booster Academy. People say, I'm looking for an AWS DevOps engineer. DevOps, these are messages that I've gotten over time. And if you have any questions, don't worry, we have a section for Q&A at the end of the day. You don't need to have any background in tech. At Cloud Booster Academy, we teach you everything that you need to know from scratch. Now, these are some of the recruiters that have reached out to me. You even have opportunities that are 100% fully remote. What is the benefit of learning cloud? There are a variety of jobs to pick from. In cloud computing, you will not be limited. I'm going to be featuring some people in our team. I'll be telling you, people are working in different places. I have people that are DevOps engineers, they're cloud advisory managers, they're in cloud security. So many roles in cloud computing, and these are some of the examples. If you learn cloud, you could become a cloud engineer, you can become a solutions engineer, you could become a cloud architect, you could be a cloud support engineer, you could be a cloud developer, you could be a cloud infrastructure engineer, you could be a cloud networking engineer. I'm currently a cloud advisory manager, but previously I was a cloud DevOps and DevSecOps engineer. So there's so many opportunities in this cloud field. So benefits of learning cloud, there's high earning potential as well. And some people are going to be sharing their story about how they've been able to, get better jobs as a result of learning cloud. So with the rising demand for cloud technologies, the pay scale is ever rising. Honestly, in my company, for one, they literally just increased the salary of a number of people who had really, really hot skills in the market. So average salary of cloud computing professional, these are things that you can Google. Everything that I'm telling you today, you can Google it yourself and find out. This is truth. This is my industry. I'm very certain about this. So how can you get started? All you need to do, and I'm going to be wrapping up shortly and calling some of our testimonials as well to share their story. Some people that have gone through Cloud Booster Academy. How can you get started? 3 major things. You need to get trained. You need to get trained. I'm not just talking about training where you're watching one random YouTube video, you're not paying attention, no, that's not it. You need to get trained. You need professionals to actually teach you the job. That's what you need to do. That's how it concerns you. That's how you can get started. You need to get hands-on experience. You need to work on projects. That's how you can get started. And that's where Cloud Booster Academy comes in. We are here to help you. We're here to help you. And I'm going to be talking about Cloud Booster Academy going forward. So Cloud Booster will show you how to go from zero to cloud with no prior and I'm going to be calling Opeyemi shortly, immediately after this slide, to share his experience at Cloud Booster. So what we do at Cloud Booster, we show you how to go from zero to the cloud. You don't need to have any prior knowledge of coding. We can help you get started. Opeyemi is somebody who is currently at Cloud Booster Academy. His background is actually in physiotherapy, a medical field, and he's been learning cloud, and he's going to talk briefly. He's going to talk shortly, So we give you hands-on labs, we'll show you step-by-step process of building and navigating the cloud platform. See, if you join Cloud Booster Academy from day one, you're going to be logging into your AWS console and creating something. We give you projects to work on, real life projects that expose you and give you an opportunity to gain industry experience. So I'm just going to stop there for now, and I'll call Opeyemi to share his experience at Cloud Booster Academy for you. Opeyemi.
Hi, Bemi. Thank you.
Hi, Ope.
How are you doing today?
I'm very well, thank you.
Hi, guys. Good evening. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for getting on this call. So my name is Okpeyemi Okonuga. I studied physiotherapy from the University of Lagos, and I have practiced clinically for a number of years. But I came across a problem in my practice that I needed to solve, or that I wanted to solve. And I realized that I couldn't solve it without the help of technology. So I decided to equip myself with a technology skill. And fortunately for me, I came across Cloud Booster. I was, of course, completely without any kind of knowledge when it came to tech. In fact, I thought that cloud was actually literal cloud. I didn't know that it was supposed to be computers clusters somewhere. So that was how much of a novice that I was. I had no idea at all. I had spent the better part of the decade of my life, practicing and in the healthcare industry. So it was really an Herculean task for me, but Cloud Booster uh, came to the rescue really because I didn't know how I would have done it. So I got on with Cloud Booster. It was a total game changer. I learned all the basic skills that I needed or that I need, and I'm still learning, that I need to practice or to be a cloud professional to equip me to take my certification exam, which I've already booked and I'm going to take over the course of in the next month or two. And I learned how to provision instances, how to deploy applications with code, how to build infrastructure with code, how to deploy serverless applications, how to build pipelines. And really, when I go online and I check what recruiters are looking for or what the job descriptions for cloud professionals, when I check them out on job websites, what I find is that a lot of the things that I'm being exposed to in Cloud Booster are actually the same things that are required in the industry. So it makes me feel very comfortable and very confident that when I'm done with my education here with Cloud Booster, I am actually really prepared for the market. So if you're getting on this training, you are not just being trained and you are not relevant in the market. You have actually been equipped with the in-demand skills for cloud engineers and cloud professionals. When you check, you find all these things: Kubernetes, Terraform, Ansible, S3 buckets, all of that, you would be exposed. And before I stop talking, I would just mention a few things that really is the selling point for me with Cloud Booster. The first thing is that their faith in you. Like you literally can be a carpenter and you sign up with Cloud Booster and they will tell you that don't worry, you will learn it. And one of the things that Bemi told us at the beginning, I will never forget the first class. She said that they do not believe that anybody is not smart enough to learn cloud, that they believe every single person is smart enough to learn cloud. And really, the truth is they put in the work to make you understand, no matter how non-technical you are. So that one is number one. Number two is the fact that they are very hands-on, really, and that's the truth. You get to do projects, you get to do labs, you get to practice in class, you practice with your group, and every training we do at least 2 labs at least, and those labs can be can be tough, but they they inspire you, they encourage you, they guide you, they make you learn it. And then you do assignments, and those assignments are also is hands-on as well, because you have to do them, you have to figure them out, so very hands-on. That's the second thing. The third thing is that the push that they give you to go after, your certification, to go after the next level. That's really something that I really enjoy, that I really like. And and they make time for you to, if you don't understand, that's not a problem. They make time for you to understand. There are revision classes, there is a mid training sort of like exam. They expose you to some questions, that practice questions for your certification. So there is a lot that you get with Cloud Booster. And if I am to advise anyone who is especially a non-technical person looking to get into cloud, to choose a place to train, I hands down Cloud Booster Academy.
Wow.
So thank you so much for your time and for listening.
Right. Amazing, amazing. Wow. Honestly, guys, you've heard it from Okwemi, but honestly, Okwemi is definitely one of our most passionate students. He definitely puts in the work. In classes, you can see him asking questions, submitting his assignment. Because another thing we do, we track people like CCTV camera. If you're a Cloud Booster, we are tracking everything you're doing. Are you coming to class? Are you doing your assignments? Are you doing your lab? We're going to be on your case, because we want to make sure that you actually are doing this. And honestly, Okwemi is definitely somebody that even has inspired us as well. He has been able to, because there's something about tutors being there to help, and there's another thing about students putting in the work as well. And Okwemi, you can hear him talking about all this Docker, Kubernetes. When he first joined, all these things sounded very intimidating. So Okwemi, thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Jamie.
So
it's a pleasure.
thank you. Yeah, amazing. So I'm just going to continue in terms of, talking about more about our training and what we do at Cloud Booster Academy, right? So like we said, this is where I stopped. I was talking about the fact that, Cloud Booster will show you how to go from zero to cloud. And you've heard this from Okwemi's mouth himself. And so this is what we're introducing to you today. How can you get started? I've told you about how cloud is the buzzword. Everybody's moving to the cloud. How does this concern you as a person? How can you get started? So Cloud Booster Academy has put together what we call the complete cloud DevOps course, and what we do, our mission is actually to turn you into a competent cloud DevOps engineer in 24 weeks. In 24 weeks, that's the plan. And in terms of how we make sure that this is done, we actually have expert tutors that teach the classes. You heard what Okwemi said. These are people that Okwemi personally has interacted with, has asked them questions. These are people from the industry, that have come to teach and impact their knowledge, regarding cloud computing. And then, also I would like to particularly spotlight our Cloud Booster alumni. This was actually the first batch of students that came through Cloud Booster. Some of them are going to be answering your questions today. These people, so for me, I'm the first here. Their cohort actually started October last year. And everybody that was part of this, the first cohort that we ran at Cloud Booster, they are all AWS certified. They all passed their exams at first sitting. They are all, AK is our lead facilitator at Cloud Booster. Is going to be answering some questions today. Within 3 months of joining Cloud Booster, AK smashed his AWS Solutions exam. Tosi as well is going to be talking later today. Tosi was a developer in Nigeria. She joined Cloud Booster Academy. She became a tutor. She became a facilitator. She became certified. And she landed a job in the UK. She will share her story. Don't worry. And then we have Omolara as well, who Omolara is our Kahoot queen. Very intelligent. She also went through the academy. Her background is actually English. She studied English at university. She has become a cloud professional today. She has gotten a job in the UK. Toby as well is AWS certified, is one of our facilitators at Cloud Booster. So everyone here, this is another thing that makes Cloud Booster so unique, because like I said, I'm the founder of Cloud Booster, and I really, the passion, I know how hard it was for me to learn cloud on the job, and that's why I brought this out and spread it across. That's why you can't, if you're a Cloud Booster, you You can do it. You will think people know. For me as an instructor, my favorite statement is you will figure it out. And that's how our facilitators were trained, and that's how our students are being trained as well. No matter your background, currently we have people in accounting. We tell them you can figure it, you're not dull. As Cloud Booster, we believe that everybody is a genius. Everybody can figure it out. All we need is a genuine passion and interest. You decide, because see, guys, there is a huge skills gap. I can assure you, recruiters are looking actively for people. So we don't care about your background right now. Have you seen the need for this job? Are you interested in taking up this job? Do you want to make money from cloud? Come and learn this. That's all we need. And we know, we believe in you. We know you can do. So you have excellent facilitators guiding you in the breakout rooms for the live classes, right? So like I said, everybody that's passed through our first set, these are the certifications. They wrote their AWS exam. And when I'm talking about cloud, like I said, what we are offering our Cloud Booster is not just cloud training, it's cloud and DevOps together. And I'll tell you what the breakdown of that means as we go along. So these are all our facilitators. They are all alumni from Cloud Booster. They are all AWS certified, you know. Now, so for you as a person, how does this relate to you? What should you expect from our cloud DevOps training? This is what I am going to be talking about today. So you're good at the end of our training, when you sign up for our cloud DevOps training course, you know, you'll be able to use Amazon Web Services as a cloud deployment platform. So at the moment, our major cloud deployment platform is AWS. Over time, we're going to start doing other ones, but we know that once you learn one cloud provider, you know, at the beginning, I told you about 3 major cloud providers. We have 4 actually. We have AWS, we have Azure, and we have, you know, Alibaba Cloud. We have GCP, Google Cloud. AWS is the one that is leading in the market. They have more services than other cloud providers. Once you understand how to build on AWS, even if you find yourself using Google Cloud Platform tomorrow, you can understand. And of course, some of our students can share their experience as well. So we have AWS as our cloud deployment platform. You would understand various AWS services and real life use cases. You would have the opportunity to work on real life projects, real life cloud projects, industry standard. Again, remember, you don't have to have a background in tech. You don't need to study engineering. You don't need to, I just showed you Omolara who studied English. Okoyemi just spoke. He studied physiotherapy. You know, as long as you're interested, we can bring you on board. So you're going to learn how to use Git and GitHub for source code management. You're going to learn how to use Ansible. That's another major tool that is in the market. If you do everything I'm saying, make sure you Google it and find out for yourself. If you tell the recruiters in the UK particularly, that if people that know AWS, that know Git, that know Linux, that know Ansible, these are the things that we teach in our complete cloud DevOps course. You will learn how to use Ansible for server configuration management. You will understand Docker and application containerization. You will learn how to use Kubernetes as a container orchestrator. I know these things sound a bit, you know, you may not be familiar, but trust me, when you come on board, we teach you from scratch as though you don't have any background in tech yet, right? You learn how to create CI/CD pipelines using Jenkins for automation deployment. What else are you going to learn? You're going to learn how to use AWS CloudFormation and Terraform for infrastructure as code. Trust me, don't be intimidated by these statements. We teach everything lines upon lines, little by little. We build up on the knowledge. You will have, when you finish with us, you will have a public repository of all the projects you worked on. You will gain enough hands-on experience to help you land your first cloud DevOps engineer role, right? So in terms of our method of delivery, this is something that is very important. And for those of you that have known us for a while, or those of us that are new, you know, I'm going to tell you about the way that we deliver our training. So previously, we had, so our first method is live classes. So we have the option, if you're somebody that you prefer live classes, you want to come to class every Saturday for 24 weeks, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. You come to class, you have lectures, we have practical, you have peer-to-peer interaction. That's our first method of delivery. So we have the program where you can just attend live classes every Saturday. Our start date for the next course is actually 8th of October, but all preparation is going towards that already. So from October till March, you'll be with us every Saturday. You'll be with us in class, interact with industry leaders. You come to class, you can ask your questions. You have labs that you work on. You'll be in breakout rooms. You will interact with other people who are learning as well, which is a major motivation. See, learning on your own can be very difficult. There are many YouTube videos and random Udemy courses here and there. But what makes us different is that you know that there is a definite start date and there's a definite end date. as long as you're coming to class every single Saturday, you would have learned all the skills that are required, right? And then the second method of delivery is our self-paced program. So this one, you watch the lectures, you have access to every single thing, but you do it on your own pace. You do it at your own time. And I'm going to be sharing with us more details about that. I'm going to be calling our next testimonial shortly, who's going to be sharing his experience with our self-paced cloud DevOps training, right? So how we teach our Cloud Booster, we use hands-on labs a lot. This was developed in-house. I say this all the time. We built this from scratch as a company. We thought about things that we've seen in the industry, a lot of co-creation with our industry experts and myself and all of us that work in all these global organizations. We actually created this, which means that unlike for those of you that have tried to learn tech before, you know that if you're learning tech from a video, they'll tell you somebody's probably just demonstrating and telling you click this, click that, and you probably have to pause the video and check, okay, what did they click here, what did they click there? With Cloud Booster is different. We have video demos, but at the same time, we also have hands-on lab that, you're learning DevOps like ABC. You're using our custom step-by-step manual. We call them workbooks. So you can, it shows you everything. We have all these illustrations that this is what you're supposed to click, so you're not, even if you missed it, you just need to go back to that number in the step or that page and you find your way back. So you don't need to keep stopping and starting the video. One of the things that makes, because I'm so passionate about teaching as a person, I actually used to be a teacher before I got into tech. We know that people learn differently. We have something for everybody at Cloud Booster. If you learn strictly by listening, you can watch the videos. If you're somebody that learns by reading, you can use the step-by-step lab. If you're somebody that learns by, fun activities, in our Cloud Booster classes, we have sections for Kahoot quizzes where we actually, we have fun quiz sessions as well, where we reinforce your knowledge. So you have your quizzes as well. If you're somebody that learns by doing, there's practical for you. So there's something for everybody. You're an audiovisual learner, there's something for you, and eventually you gain the experience. So that's something else about how we teach. We have industry standard project. You have the opportunity to work in real cloud environments, and your practical learnings, you'll be able to put it to real life projects. And then gamified learning content as well. So we put quizzes as well, because we know that these concepts are quite difficult, so, and even though I said difficult, right, you can still figure it out. I don't care what your background is. We're going to break it down in such a way that, anything that is difficult, all you need is to understand once you understand the minuted version of that thing, you just need to build up on it. So nobody is dull at Cloud Booster. I don't care what you finished with. You've come to us right now. We believe in you. And even if you don't believe in yourself, we'll believe in you. I will make sure that you learn this course. So our ultimate goal is to make sure that you finish successfully. So right now I'm going to call our testimonial. So these are some of the things. So let me talk about our fully pre-recorded class. And then, so I've called our testimonial already, okay. So our self-paced class, I want to tell you a bit more about. So for the first self-paced option, you have 3 months access to recorded class lectures. You have access to our self-explanatory technical labs. You will be able to build strong technical skills on your own with hands-on experience architecting on the cloud. You'll be able to learn all the latest technologies in cloud DevOps, AWS, Linux, Python, Git, Jenkins, Terraform, Docker, Kubernetes, Ansible by just watching this self-paced class on your own. You have quiz questions after you finish watching the videos to reinforce your learning. You have additional resources to research more about each concept that was taught. You have access to Cloud Booster community as well. So even if you're not coming for the live class, if all the option that you're doing is self-paced class, you still have access to Cloud Booster community. And then you get preparation materials for your AWS Solutions Architect. So I'm just going to call on Amos right now, who is a professional that has been on our self-paced class, to share his experience so that you guys can know, the benefits of this option.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Please let me know if you can hear me. My name is Amos. I studied mechanical engineering at university. I've worked 5 years in the fast-moving consumable goods industry. However, during my time in the business, I just knew I wanted to get into tech. And this is for real because by 2030, there are so many studies that have shown that, the world is going to go completely digital. Yeah, and there will be a different set of skill sets that will be needed to meet the demands by that time. and I came across cloud computing. Yeah. At the moment, I'm taking the self-paced course. One of the reasons why I'm taking this self-paced course is because I actually want to go at my own speed and take my certification exam by the end of this month. Now, one thing I can tell you is if you understand English, yeah, literally, if you understand English, if you can read and write, the course is straightforward. Like the instructional materials are so simple, like they take you step by step. Yeah. So from the very first day that I started the course, I was able to, log into the Amazon AWS console. I was able to start working on projects. Yeah. I say with the what they call identity access management. You learn about these things once you start this course. Now, some of the terms I might be using might sound so simple to me today. And honestly, I didn't know anything about this. I actually have no background in computer science, but I just got to learn every single thing I know today from this course. Now, the beauty of this course is, just like any other maybe course you're taking online, you're watching videos. Yeah. So the traditional thing you get today online is you just watch videos. Say for instance, you go on YouTube, you're watching videos. It's just one directional. But Cloud Booster is different. They offer what they call the Q&A session. So the Q&A session gets to engage your mind. So once you're watching the video and you get to the Q&A section part, now you're not in class, you're not taking that Q&A section with them. But by just participating and watching, it triggers your mind, it engages your mind. You also have the Kahoot session that also makes you reinforce some of the learnings you've learned from the course. Now, I must also mention that the labs are also very useful because with the labs, you get to work on real life projects. Like today, if you go to your IT section in any business, yeah, you would see the IT guys opening what they call terminal, just typing some things in one command line and it looks all techy. I do these things today and it's so simple. Like it just felt like it's so easy. And all of these things I learned from Cloud Booster Academy. Yeah. And one other thing I also learned is, there are also other things they teach you that is even out of cloud that helps you understand this cloud, faster. Things like Git, things like Linux and Python in itself. Like they make these things look so simple and you work. The only thing that I require from you, the only thing you need to demand from yourself is the discipline to sit down and focus. Like if you're distracted with your phone, you're talking to somebody, you cannot concentrate for 5 minutes, you'll be losing out. Yeah. But if you can just decide for yourself that you stay with this thing for a few hours, you will get this thing. And the beauty of the course is, they started from a very simpler idea and they kept building on it. So once you understand class 1, what is being discussed in class 2, so many references are made to class 1. So it keeps building on your knowledge and you keep getting, really, really grounded and you move from zero to an expert level in cloud. So for me, my experience so far has been fantastic. And I look forward to taking my exam at the end of this month. And I also look forward to, applying for jobs in the tech industry as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. You guys have heard it. You've heard it from Amos himself. He's taking the course by himself, no interaction with us, fully self-paced, and is still able to get all the value from it. So I'm just going to tell you more about our offering for the live classes. Like I said, we have 2 major offerings just to cater whoever you are. We don't want it to be that for whatever reason, if you're unable to attend the live class, we don't want it to be that you miss out of the entire Cloud Booster experience. That's why we have the 2 packages, so you can pick the one that suits you best. If you're somebody that needs a lot of handholding and you want to interact with other students in class, then obviously the live classes is also going to be another option for you. So these are some of our structures. I'm going to be calling Tosin very soon to share her story. But before then, I just want to share with you the package that we have for the live classes. Please bear with me. So for the live classes, what you go through is, again, all of the same technologies, but you have 6 months of intense training, classroom and practicals. So you come to class every single Saturday and you interact. So while you're in class, one of the industry people I spoke to you about will be teaching. If you have any questions, you can ask it directly in class. You have access to ask immediately, and then we don't sit down for more than 1 hour at Cloud Booster. When you sit down, you go on a 5 minutes break because there's so many things to learn. So you come back and then we put in your breakout rooms. You start working on the labs. When you're in your breakout rooms, there'll be a facilitator with you who is most likely a Cloud Booster alumni or somebody who is in the industry, and they're asking you, okay, let's see what you're working on. Share your screen. Let's see how you're building this platform. We're recording your progress. We're checking who attended class today. We're literally every month, we're giving you progress on how far you've gone in the training. So with the live classes, you're building strong technical skills with hands-on experience, architecting on the cloud. You have access to our fully guided technical labs. You learn all the latest technologies in cloud DevOps, like Amos has said, AWS. If you Google these things, Google it and check for yourself. These are the skills that recruiters are looking for. If you in the industry, if you say you know cloud, like I can't even begin to tell you guys how much prestige the knowledge of cloud and being cloud certified has brought to me as an individual. You know, we teach you Linux from scratch. We teach you Python from scratch, Git from scratch, Jenkins, Terraform, Docker, Kubernetes, Ansible. You will be in class, in the live class. With the live class option, you have engaging class lectures covering all the modules to get you started as a cloud DevOps engineer. Apart from that, you have practical exposure into agile project management and agile delivery. So you have practical projects to work on that give you this. With the live classes, you have soft skills coaching as well. I always say this, as a DevOps engineer, it's not just your technical skills alone. You need soft skills as well. So because you're interacting with other people, or you're probably going to be a group leader. If you're a group leader, you have additional responsibilities, because then we're going to be asking you about how people in your group are doing. You get all that benefits with the live classes. You have access to, you can interact with industry leaders because they come to class with you. You can speak to them directly. These are people that you probably not be able to have met otherwise. You know, so you have interactions with industry leaders in cloud computing and DevOps. You have access to Cloud Booster community, networking with bright minds. Sometimes, I remember one time in class, people were like, oh my God, this particular person, we've not seen him in a long time. Let's reach out to him, because that's another thing. We build that community spirit at Cloud Booster. So everybody's holding each other's hands. You have your groups, you have your small groups. No matter how large the class is, you have your small groups that you can eventually do projects together. So you're not alone. You're not alone. You have somebody with you. And then we have career support services as well. There's somebody's CV I'm going to be reviewing today in this current cohort. I'm going to be reviewing his CV by myself, and it's going to start applying for jobs. You know, CV review, we talk about LinkedIn profile upgrade. How can you make your LinkedIn profile, so that recruiters can find you? And Tosi is going to share her experience. How did she get a job in the UK from Nigeria? She was simply a back-end developer. She joined Cloud Booster, learned cloud, and then she got a job in that's just in that. I'm sure that's what you guys, your jackpot. And most people here want to jackpot. Learn cloud and be the man. And they will give you preparation materials for your AWS solutions location. So I'm just going to call on Tosi right now to share her experience with Cloud Booster. And yes, go on, please, Tosi.
Thank you so much, Bemi. Thank you so much. So really, anytime I have to talk about Cloud Booster, I'm always excited, because to be honest, Cloud Booster has been like a huge part of my story, and I can't even just, let me just share the story. So I graduated in 2019 from civil engineering at the University of Ibadan, UPUI. So after that, I wanted to go into tech. I really wanted to go into this whole IT, everything. So I started learning to code. The hustle. Some of you that might have already been, going around, learning different things, trying to take online courses, the whole hustle now. So I tried doing that. Then in 2021, that was last year, actually, I got a job as an intern, a backend developer intern. So it was in Nigeria. Of course, startups, tech startups in Nigeria, they don't really pay that well. It was, what? I don't even want to start talking, but I was really not paid well. But I was, learning a few things, but I knew that I definitely wanted to do something else. I had still been learning. And then, with this job, let's still keep going. But I really wanted to do something else. Now, about cloud, when I started my whole tech journey in 2019, learning to code and learning all of that, I'd always been hearing about cloud computing, cloud engineering, cloud this. And I had like this hidden dream and this hidden wish to get into it. I'd been following a lot of people on Twitter, on LinkedIn, trying to get a lot of things. So I knew about Gbemi. I knew Gbemi was like this big person in cloud engineering. And so by October, so before then I should mention that I tried taking some other courses. I tried doing Azure. I tried to, do a certification, but I was doing it on my own. I tried GCP as well. I tried to just learn stuff on my own, but it was really not easy. It was not easy at all, especially since I was working, even if as an intern, but I was working at the time. But basically, it wasn't easy. I didn't have like anybody supporting me. So I just eventually gave up until, I found out about Gbemi. She was starting Cloud Booster. This was the very beginning of Cloud Booster training. And so as soon as, I found out, I didn't even think twice. I just jumped into it. And honestly, as in, it's just amazing, to be honest, because, and let me just say something very funny. I was at the time still trying to apply for school, that whole JAPA master's plan. Okay. So that was what was on my mind at that time. So I just decided, okay, let me just join this training because it's Gbemi. And so I did it and it was amazing. I kid you not, it was amazing. I met really awesome people. We worked together and people that I can actually call friends right now. Like, I can say these are my paddies now. That's the fellow students. And then the very first class, even if I was working as a backend developer, I didn't have exposure to cloud. We're always just using, we're not exactly using cloud. It wasn't even me that was working directly with any cloud tool. It was like the senior engineers and stuff. So I didn't have any exposure. And then that very first class was my first time with AWS. This was the first week in November that we started these classes. And we continued consistently November, December, January. We continued. And by February, I had already written my certification. I got my AWS certified solutions architect certification. And then I had known so much. By the end of December, I was already doing things on cloud. I was already having conversations on cloud. And it's just really cool when you can join the jokes that people are talking about cloud. And this thing. So anyway, it was just amazing. Now, by the end of April, I was supposed to be moving with my husband to the UK. And I really wanted to get a job, a job in cloud. And so what I did on LinkedIn was I simply put this open to work, this open to work, and I put my skills there, cloud, DevOps, cloud architects, those are the kind of jobs I'm looking at. And I put in the UK. I mean, in like a week, I was getting so many requests. I was just, when Gbemi was telling us that she's always getting job offer, I was like, okay, because you're a senior person, of course. But I'm telling you, with just my certification, we just putting it out there that I know cloud DevOps. And then another thing I did was that I was updating my CV. While you're a student, I was learning, as I'll learn 1, 2 today. In the night, I'll add it to my CV. I'm not even joking. And then I'll put it on my LinkedIn that I know how to do this thing. Even if I just learned it today or I just learned it yesterday, I put it there. I can do this thing. I know how to do it. Terraform, Jenkins, of course, AWS, I'd already gotten my certification. So I proudly put that one there, and all of these tools, I put it up on my CV and I started getting so many recruiters. And funny enough, this was while I was still in Nigeria, before I even come here. And before I even moved to the UK, I already got my job. I'd already gone through the interview. Another thing is that during my interview, I still said all of these things. I said, yes, is it Terraform? I know how to do it. I've used Jenkins. They don't need to know how long, and then I've used it. And then they actually tested me. And based on my knowledge from Cloud Booster, and like I said, we have hands-on training, like Gbemi has been saying, they're hands-on training. And so I did these things and I did it in my test for my technical interview. In my technical interview, I actually did it and I passed it. These were all the things I learned within how many months. It was just amazing, really. And so, yeah, I got the job. I moved to the UK and I started my job. And then another thing I need to add is that in Cloud Booster, it is AWS that we use. But then funny thing is that as soon as I started my job, so I work for a consultancy, a tech consultancy, and the very first project that I was put on is an Azure project. Yeah, they're AWS project, but they told me that they want me on an Azure project. I don't have experience with Azure. But then Cloud Booster specifically taught, they don't just teach AWS. Yeah, AWS is the main language, or is the main cloud platform, but they also teach actual cloud computing, right? And so because of that, I'm able to work in this project. I'm not scared. I'm not worried. I remember when somebody was telling me about an Azure to front door. I've never heard of it, but as soon as I started explaining, I was like, oh, is that edge location? Of course, I know that now. I mean, it's just amazing. So really, I would really encourage, if you're looking to upgrade your life, you're looking to get a better job, because you have these skills. If you have these skills, you have the opportunity, you have the mind, you have the sense. Okay, you just need somebody to really walk your hand, hold your hand, and teach you these things. And believe me, there are better paying jobs out there. There are better opportunities for you, and they are open. And sorry that, let me just quickly say this. Even now that I've gotten my job, I've removed my open to work from LinkedIn, but I'm still getting messages from people because that need is there. The need is there. I'm like, you people, leave me alone. I don't want, so it's just amazing, really. So yeah, thank you so much for the opportunity.
Amazing. You guys have heard it from Tosi. She's having to say they should leave her alone. I'm telling you, and we want your own story to be like that. I'm telling you, as of October last year, Tosi had no idea what cloud was. See how she sounded. I can see the gentleman saying she's so excited and it's contagious. I'm telling you, that's the bug you catch when you join Cloud Booster, because we'll let you know that you can actually do this. And so indeed. So just talking, so you've heard there are different options, right? I mean, our main offering is actually the live classes, right? And for those of you that are going to be signing up for the live classes, this is how your journey would look like. The start date is 8th of October 2022, all the way till, I can assure you, you're going to be in a different place by early next year. Sometimes when we tell people, oh my God, 6 months is long, 24 weeks is long. But you know that every single week you're adding to your knowledge, you're getting better. That same 6 months, you could have spent it at home not doing anything. But the opportunity to join an academy, you know that you're coming to class every Saturday. So even if you're a student in Nigeria, you're on ASU strike at the moment, you can get on board. Like, we just need people that are serious and are ready to put in the effort, put in the work. So this is what your journey will look like. Imagine if you sign up now. Of course, I'm going to share details. I know some of you are already asking how much is it going to cost. And don't worry, I'm going to come to that very briefly. And of course, we'll take other questions that you have. But we want you to, because some people will be like, oh, we didn't have enough notice. That's what we're announcing now. So you can plan for it. You have 2 months notice, about 2 months or 2.5 months notice, because our start date is 8th of October. So begin to plan and begin to prepare towards it. By November, you'll have understood key AWS concept. You'll have deployed a highly available web server. By December, you'll have worked on personal cloud DevOps projects. By February, you'll have understood key DevOps concepts. If you take it to another level, Tosin got her certification in 4 months. AK got his own in 3 months. So you're preparing for your certification project, you're building your profile, you're building your CV, you're building your resume, you're adding all these things to your LinkedIn, to your CV, and recruiters can begin to reach out to you at any point in time. So you imagine where you will be after 24 weeks by 18th of March next year. Trust me, it might look like a fat time, but I can assure you that if you're not using that time productively, you will not get the result that you want to get. So that's it about our training. So we're going to go into the question session shortly, but you already understand our offering. We have these 2 programs for you. So now, these are our success stories. Amongst many, there are other success stories that we're not speaking about, but of course, amongst many. So for those of you that have been asking how much is the price, people are saying they wish they could start tomorrow. Don't worry. So in terms of the pricing, so we have different price levels for the 2 different options. So for our live classes, like I said, there is a lot that you're getting. This is a lot of value that you're going to be getting from Cloud Booster. I can assure you, it's a lot of value. What makes Cloud Booster unique, like we say, you have people holding your hands. You have people who believe in you. People who are constantly checking on you. People who are constantly, marking your assignments, checking what you're doing, giving you feedback on your reports. The level of guidance that you get from us, you have all of these things at a discounted rate of £2,500 for 6 months. Imagine. That's a 6 month journey you're going to be with us, 24 weeks. It's pretty much going to be, £2,500 for our training for 6 months. And you're going to learn all these technologies. Is it Docker? Is it Git? Is it Kubernetes? Without any prior experience in cloud. And of course, we have an early bird offer of £2,300. If you want details of this in other currencies, we'll send it to your email as well. Now, what we want you to do, if you're interested in this package, we're going to be putting the link in the chat box. We're going to put in the link in the chat box for you to register, right? You can register and you can latch on the early bird registration fee of £2,300. Early bird deadline is 16th of August. So there's going to be a registration charge of £10, which is not refundable, but so it's going to be from your training fee, right? So we have that registration charge. So once you register, we know you're interested in this training, and we're going to start following you up immediately. So please, we've put the link in the chat box already for you to begin to sign up. Now, if you don't want the live class option, the second option is the self-paced class, which is 12 weeks, which is going to be 3 months access to recorded class lectures. Just like I said earlier, Amos is a testimonial for this. You will learn all the technologies. You have quiz questions to work on. You have additional resources to work on. And the price of this one is highly discounted again. Rather than give you for £1,000, 999, we're giving you for 699. And there's even an early bird registration of an early bird price of £699. Yes, there is installmental payments. That's fine. We can, because we know that you may require installments. That's totally fine. Just register using the link in the chat box. Registration fee is £10, and we'll send you all the options. We'll reach out to you individually. We want to understand your needs. We want to understand how we can help. Do you need to pay in different currencies? We have all of that support available for you as well. So again, there's an early bird fee of $599. Self-paced class, you have 3 months access to the recorded class lectures, and after that we'll tell you what happens next. So again, it's the same link to register. So click the link in the chat box. It's all there for you to register. Which option do you prefer? Do you want to come for our live classes, or do you want to do the self-paced classes? We have the 2 options available for you. So what we want you to do, so this is it at a glance, our live classes and our self-paced classes, whichever option you want to do, there's that early bird registration fee, and that's going to end by 16th of August, exactly a month from now. But you can definitely register, so you can be in our system already. We will reach out to you, understand your training needs. But you guys have seen the value. You've heard for yourself. This is your next step. If you want to get a very rare skill, you want to become in demand, and you want recruiters to be looking for you. Look at how Tosi is smiling. She's telling recruiters, I don't want the job, because she has become more valuable. She has learned difficult skills. So I'm just going to end there and give room for your questions and answers. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you so much for that, Bimi. In fact, so as Tosin was talking, right, I was like, maybe I should check my LinkedIn. So I went to check my LinkedIn, literally, guys, honestly, and I went to that statistics portion of it, and I saw that in the past, because I just did my own certification last month, and I put it up there and all of that. And in the past less than 2 weeks, I've had 84 profile viewers, right? You guys should see the graph. It's like flat and then spike, right? Just because I put up those skills I learned at Cloud Booster, and people are just excited about it. That means Bemi is absolutely right. People are looking for these skills, guys. People are looking for these skills. So we would be taking whatever questions you guys may have. We've been seeing a lot of questions in the comment section. And we'll try to take as many of the questions as possible. We'll have, different people answer different questions. As it's depending on what the questions are, really. We would have our lead facilitator here. If you guys have any questions about the live program, facilitation, how that goes, and all of that. So I'll be directing the first question to Baby. Sorry to bring you back. sorry to bring you back.
It's fine.
Sorry to bring you back so quickly. So someone is asking, the self-paced class or the live class? I think they just need more details around. If you would say anything to that. Please.
Yeah, I feel like for you to ask that question, I think you should do the live classes. Because honestly, the best option is for you to do the live classes. And that's because you have a start date, you have an end date. I can assure you there are many people out there who, I'm sure that there are courses that you have bought on Udemy. I'm sure everybody has unfinished backlog of Udemy courses that you have bought and you have completed. Right, we have both options, but our best products are what we always advise people to go for is our live classes. You have a definite start date, you have a definite end date, you have support, you have people that you're going on this journey together. We have this option available also if you prefer that, and if you can go through it on your own. Clearly, you can see Amos and Amos stressed the fact that you have to be very disciplined you will still finish, but you have to be super disciplined. So it all depends on your person. But for you, I feel like if you're asking, then you definitely should do the live class, because you're probably somebody who, you would most likely want to, get some help for people as well. There is so much benefit of being in the live class. I mean, I could go on and on about it, but yeah, I would say definitely the live classes. Go on, Toby.
Definitely. One more question before you go, Game. Someone is asking, must the installmental payment be completed before the start date?
No, actually, no. But there's a minimum that you need to pay before the start day. We'll let you know details about this. But the key thing is just register. I will provide more information for you. Registration fee of £10 is going to be deducted from your. I mean, you only, that's part of your training as well. So you don't need to finish the payment before you start. We are very considerate.
Okay. Can I ask for AK now? AK is our lead facilitator, cloud DevOps engineer at Cloud Booster. AK, would like to ask you. I'd like to direct a couple of the questions in the comment section to you. Are you here?
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes. I can hear you clearly. I hope everybody else can hear, not just me. So someone is asking, is cloud computing coding?
Yeah, definitely. There's a section of cloud computing that you have to code when talking about the building infrastructure as code using what's it called? Cloud Formation. Yeah, so there's a section, and using Linux also, there's a section of it so that you have to do a little bit of coding. Definitely, but then it's something that can be learned by anybody.
I completely agree. If you guys see the labs they're literally copy and paste coding until you're actually able to write these things by yourself. Honestly, it's great. Is Amos around? Someone is asking how long Amos has been on the self-paced platform for. How long has he been doing that for?
Okay.
Is Amos here?
Less than 2 months now.
Okay, so I'm around.
Okay.
Yeah, so apparently I started last month, and as I said, it's been going really, really easy for me, and that's because as I said, you need to sit down, honestly sit down and follow the instructions. And the other thing I didn't mention earlier was there's actually a community. This is on Slack, yeah. So if you're familiar with IT, you know Slack. I mean, it's just like Facebook. There's a community where you can reach out to people, the facilitators, and other students like you. And then you can ask some questions to get clarification. So you're not completely alone. Yeah. So I stayed last month, and I'll be rounding up by the end of this month.
That makes sense. I mean, so with the self-paced, you can go as fast as you want. You can go as...
Exactly.
I mean, you can take your time if you want to. It's all up to you, really. It's all up to you. Makes sense. Thank you so much for that, Amos. I think I'll be asking AK this one as well, because AK is lead facilitator. He's in charge of the labs and all of that, the assignments. AK, someone is asking, do we get a recorded version of the live classes? And what if we miss a day? What if we're not around on a particular Saturday? How does that go? How do we get to catch up? How about the labs that we missed and the assignments that we missed? How do we go about that?
Yeah, definitely. All our live classes are recorded. Okay. So either you're in class or not, you have access to it to rewatch during the week. Definitely. So for every class, they are all recorded. You have access to everything, both the labs, the class, everything, and the assignments also.
Makes sense. Thank you so much, AK. Bemi, let me ask you this one.
Okay.
I'll probably take just one more question after this. Somebody's asking. So I think you mentioned something around, accountability being important on this journey and how we come in to help you with that and all of that. Someone is asking, with the self-paced, how do you feel accountable? How does the accountability come in with the self-paced?
Yeah. So that's a good question. So I forgot to mention for the live classes as well, you actually have an accountability partner, so that's for the live class option. For self-paced, you are your accountability partner. So a lot of self-motivation is needed. And of course, like we said, these are two of our products. I mean, we love our products. It all depends on what works for you. I personally am a very self-motivated person, but if I want to go on a journey that I haven't been before, for those of you that are not from a tech background or a STEM background, you need extra support. So you may really want to consider the live classes. But so I'll say that in terms of accountability for the self-paced option, it's heavily dependent on you. We can send you emails, motivations now and then, but it's still dependent on you.
Okay. That makes sense. Thank you so much. I mean, like Amos said, but for people that opt to take the self-paced, there is a community. I mean, and that can serve as a sense of accountability for you as well, depending on how you use it. There's a community of Slack that you can easily plug into. And that brings us to the end of our webinar conversations on cloud computing. Thank you guys so much for showing up. Thank you for being here. Thank you for participating. Thank you for being so active. Thank you for the energy. We can't wait to have that energy at Cloud Booster. We can't wait to have you guys. There'll be a link in the comment section. There'll be two links actually. One is to our landing page to indicate interest and all of that. The second one would be where you can contact us at if you have any more questions that we haven't addressed on here. Thank you guys so much. Have a great night. Yeah.
Thank you, Toby. Thank you, everybody. Please, if you have any unfinished questions as well, we're going to put our support email address as well. support@cloudbooster.co.uk. Send us your emails. We'll answer the questions. I saw a lot of questions around payments plan, payments option, the details of it. Once you register, we'll send all these details to you. You would have the Naira equivalent, the dollar equivalent. All of these things will be in your email. Just do your registration. Thank you, guys, and enjoy the rest of your evening. Bye, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.